He was a family man. He worked hard every day, and he was compassionate, and he helped others when he could.
Friends of Lake Diversion resident Rick Ellis, like Robert Smith, say his death was a tragedy, and they hope future tragedies can be prevented for people who plan to live the rest of their lives here.
I did expect something like this to happen, and I do believe that this is not the last tragic news we're going to hear, because there are elderly, disabled people out there that have nowhere to go and no money to do anything with, and are going to turn to that option.
Smith has lived out at Lake Kemp for a little over a year, on land also now owned by Stan Kroenke. He says it's been a stressful time for residents there, too. When he heard about Lake Diversion residents being forced to leave, he reached out to Ellis and his wife, Annette. They've been friends ever since.
They lost all hope when they lost their house, and now they don't even have hope. Lost her husband, that's two things in 1 year. That's pretty tragic. I mean, for her to even endure that by herself. It's going to be very tough for her. He didn't have any insurance. She doesn't have the money for burial expenses. She doesn't have the money to move. She doesn't have the money to do anything. I mean, she's just at an impasse where she doesn't know what she's going to do from day to day.
And Smith says he wants the new owner of the Wagner Ranch to understand that what may have been an easy decision for him impacts real people in ways he can't understand.
What the man doesn't realize is what he's doing is affecting not only the direct family, but everybody else. We have to wonder whether or not we're going to lose our homes. Yes, he is a billionaire, and what if somebody just came one day and said, "We're taking the Rams from you"? How would he feel? And our homes aren't much, but it's all we have.
This truly was Remembrance Sunday in a city still haunted by the events that took place exactly a year ago. At the Bataclan, where 90 people were killed, and also at the Belle Equipe restaurant, where 19 people were murdered, they laid flowers. They read the names of each of the dead, and they unveiled memorial plaques. Also in attendance, relatives of those who died, and some survivors. All of the ceremonies were led by French President François Hollande, who could not have been more somber, because remember, these were the worst terror attacks in recent French history. But there is also a determination in Paris that those attacks will not defeat France, that the French way of life will continue just as people want. So this concert hall is open again. It was reopened last night in a sellout concert by the British rock star Sting. He began his set with a song called Fragile. He said he was there to honor the victims, but also to celebrate this iconic music venue. And he asked the 1,500 or so people that were there to observe a moment of silence. Now in Paris, which remember is still under a state of emergency just like the rest of France, there will be more ceremonies for the rest of the day and into the night. It happens thousands of times every day. Travelers rant online about an airline because their flight is delayed or they've had a bad experience.
I don't think they can listen to us because there are so many people who are flying and complaining at the same time.
I don't think that the airlines are listening to the complaints.
Fact is, airlines are watching and often responding to what you put on social media. Southwest Airlines has a team tracking Twitter, Facebook, and other online sites 24 hours a day. And when customers vent about a problem, Southwest reaches out to them.
The approach is really, how can we help? Wait a minute, we hate to hear that. So what's going on? Give us some information. Let's see what we can do to straighten this out.
Social media teams help airlines by rebooking customers or just keeping them a little calmer by relaying information when problems pop up. Like in July, when Southwest canceled over 2,000 flights due to a computer outage. And even though every major airline tracks and answers customers online, some do it better than others. For example, Southwest answers almost half of the customers who mention the airline on social media, the best among airlines in North America. Meanwhile, Alaska is the fastest, answering social media posts within 3 minutes according to Conversocial, which works with airlines like Alaska and tracks the industry's interaction with millions of travelers.
If you know that you can tweet a company and get a response and have your issue resolved literally in minutes, I mean, that's a phenomenal experience. And if you can do that, you will every single time.